Audio Jungle.
Two women injured in reported acid attack at mall in Halfway 3. The St. Andrews Central Police are proving a reported acid attack that resulted in serious injuries of two women inside a store at Pavilion Mall in Halfway 3, St. Andrew. Reporters understand that the two men entered the establishment and threw a corrosive substance which caught the women who were standing nearby. Reporters gathered that both injured women, who appear to be associated with the store, are being treated. While fleeing, the men were challenged by a security officer who discharged his firearm in their direction. The police responded to the incident and cornered off the area. The incident is now under investigation. Anthony B. recovering at home after hospitalization that caused Reggae Sunfest cancellation. Rastafarian firebrand Anthony B. is now home, convalescing with his family after he was recently hospitalized with an undisclosed medical condition. The 48-year-old singer thanked his fans for the outpouring of love and support during his ailment. I am truly grateful for the words, love, prayers, and support. I am home now out of the hospital, recovering my strength, he told reporters. Last week, reggae fans were surprised Anthony B failed to grace the Reggae Sunfest concert Night 2 stage. The Raid of the Barn, singer's management team issued a release stating that he would not be performing on Night 2 of Reggae Sunfest Festival as was previously promoted. We want to clarify that this is not the fault of the promoter or the artist. We look forward to seeing you next year for the greatest reggae show on earth, Sumfest 2025, this statement read. Reggae artist Norrisman, during his performance over the weekend, shared the bad news with the audience that all was not contemplated with Anthony B. There is a lot of mixed emotion going on with me right now, Norrisman stated. One of my favorite artists, my good friend, my brethren, everything to me. He could not make it to tonight's Reggae Sunfest. Keith Blair, Anthony B., blessed up yourself. Whatever is going on with you, my brother, speedy recovery. John know me feel it to my heart, the singer continued. One of the most iconic reggae artists of the generation, Anthony B., is known for the tracks such as Fire Upon Rome, One Thing, King in My Castle, and My Yes and My No. Curfew imposed in sections of Green Island, Hanover. A 48-hour curfew has been imposed in sections of Green Island, Hanover. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, July 23rd, and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. on Thursday, July 25th. The boundaries of the curfew are north along Orange Bay Square along the highway to the small bridge beside Lobster Smokehouse, east along an imaginary line from the small bridge beside Lobster Smokehouse to Marchtown Square, south from Marchtown Road alongside the imaginary line through Dam Road District in the entrance of Dam Road, west from the entrance of Dam Road District along the main road to Orange Bay Square. During the hours of the curfew, all persons within its boundaries are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. Handyman charged with attempted rape, unlawful wounding after allegedly breaking into woman's house. Police have charged a man who allegedly broke into a woman's house in Lacovia housing scheme in St. Elizabeth on Tuesday, July 9, and attempted to rape her at knife point. Charged is 25-year-old Harville Grant, a handyman of Readings District, Lacovia in the parish. He is charged with burglary, assault with intent to rape, and unlawful wounding. Grant is accused of entering a woman's house without her permission about 3:27 a.m. He allegedly held a knife to her throat and demanded sexual favors from her. A struggle reportedly ensued during which Grant managed to inflict several wounds to the woman before escaping. A report was made to the police and an investigation was launched. Grant was taken into custody on Friday, July 19, and was subsequently charged. His court date is being finalized. I have very little confidence in the capacity of JPS, says Vols, declaring that he has lost confidence in the ability of the Jamaica Public Service Company JPS to fully restore electricity 3 weeks after Hurricane Beryl knocked out sections of the electricity grid on July 3rd. Energy Minister Darrell Voss says he is looking outside for additional help. Specifically, Voss said he has been in contact with the USAID for support in having electricity fully restored. He was speaking on Tuesday in the House of Representatives where he expressed his dissatisfaction at the thousands of JPS customers who remain in the dark. I make no apologies in stating in this House that I have very little confidence in the capacity of the JPS to effect full restoration in the timelines needed. While my powers as minister may be limited with respect to this private company and the deployment of their teams, this government will do everything legally possible to ensure that we reinforce the ability to the JPS to have power restored across the island as soon as possible, Voss remarked. He pointed to the shift timeline being given by the JPS for full restoration and noted that it not only affected the ability of citizens to access power, but also the ability of the National Water Commission to fully serve its customers. If water is life, then JPS must recognize the current position as life-threatening. This is not just figurative but literal. Several persons are subject to medical conditions that require electricity, whether it be for rich refrigeration or energy purposes, he noted. This cannot continue, and with the help of original partners now on the island, I urge the utility provider to pull out all stops to ensure they meet their deadlines and the expectations of the Jamaican people, he added. Voss was ambassador for the JPS issuing estimated bill to customers and for signaling that its intent to use force to recoup losses. This is allowed if its license is in the event there is an act of God such as a hurricane. The energy minister declared that it was unconscionably and immoral for the company to seek to obtain relief from its obligations under the current license, but is yet to outline any form of restitution or reprieve for its customers who have been without electricity for 3 weeks. Voss also noted that his responsibility for telecommunications noted that both Digicel and Flow have communicated their own mitigative and restorative measures to the government and their customers. We expect that JPS will be moved to do the same, he noted. He voices frustration and that the government, in the length of time it is taking the JPS to bring all of its customers back on the grid. He told the House that JPS has indicated that 19,000 customers were yet to receive electricity, but he questioned the accuracy of those numbers. So them, Opposition spokesperson on energy and climate change Philip Powell is warning Jamaica Public Service Company JPS that its customers could take them to court to seek compensation for damage to appliances caused by low voltage issues in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl. Powell reminded the consumers of their rights under the law as he responded to a parliamentary statement on Tuesday by Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport Darrell Voss, in which he gave an update on JPS power restorative exercise. I want to bring one matter to the attention of JPS that as they restore electricity, people are getting fluctuations in voltage, and I have to warn the JPS. Some time ago, I passed a Jamaica Consumer Protection Act that gave the consumers right, and if their refrigerator, if their equipment are damaged during low voltage, they can go to the court and sue the JPS to recover significant damages. So I am warning JPS to be careful as you go about this period of restoration to make sure that your voltage is correct, stated Powell. Powell also issued a warning to JPS as he noted that consumers are now seeking alternative routes of power because the price of electricity supplied by the JPS is too high. There has been a phenomenon for some time, but has gotten worse in recent times. When I was minister, we brought the price down from 40 cents to 23 cents. In 2016, the price was 23 cents. Today, the price of electricity is back up to 40 cents, stated Powell. He added that JPS should beware because there is growing resentment among customers. Powell pointed out that when the telecommunications sector was liberalized, there was resentment against a certain company, and after liberalization, people moved away from the drove because of the resentment. He added, I believe that JPS has to work with us now because you see that this thing called solar, you hear about what is happening with batteries. The price of batteries is now coming down to enable people to generate their own electricity for less than 50% of the current price. I have said to the government, if you use some of these resources that you have, you can collect every day from the hedge funds and assist those low-income communities to establish their own solar inverters and batteries. You will be solving two problems. You will be dealing with electricity theft, and you will be lowering the price of electricity by 17%, just so, added Powell. He argued that Jamaicans are going to be moving away from the JPS supply because of this viable alternative that now exists due to price reduction for solar panels, inverters, and batteries. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.